Good afternoon!
Global 2. First up on the agenda is the drought in South Africa.
Take it away, Carol.
Good evening, America. 26 years ago, President John F. Kennedy was shot from the 6th floor of Texas School Book Depository at the Dealey Plaza in Dallas. The supposed murderer of Kennedy was Lee Harvey Oswald. However, the truth was never discovered. Since 1963, Americans have been searching for the truth, which is why we have brought CIA agent Myrtle Jones and conspiracy theorist Dr. Talia Rodriguez to try to answer some questions behind the mysterious assassination. Was there a conspiracy? Why was Kennedy killed? Who benefited from it? Who had the power to cover it up? First, I would like to thank you, my guest, for joining me today. So, was there a conspiracy against the president?
There is absolutely no conspiracy. Lee Harvey Oswald was a communist and ex-U.S. Marine who had the ability to shoot Kennedy and did so. It's no mystery, it's just a simple truth.
That has to be the biggest lie ever told to the American public. It's mind-boggling that you can just sit there with a straight face and then just completely lie. Of course there was a conspiracy against Kennedy, and I firmly believe that Oswald was exactly what he said, a patsy. Yes, he was a U.S. Marine, but the other Marines have been testified saying that Oswald was a below-average shooter. So, therefore, he was incapable of firing 3 shots with world-class precision from a manual bolt in less than 6 seconds, especially when he was shooting at a moving object, when he had a tree in full bloom right in front of him.
Now this idea may seem a little far-fetched to you, but people do lie. Maybe the Marines lied to get coverage from the media. Secondly, the presidential limousine was not moving at an increasingly fast pace. Therefore, there's a possibility that Oswald was able to shoot from an open tree or branch or something.
No, the idea of lying isn't far-fetched. I mean, the Marines are known for their honesty and their honor. So, what purpose could they possibly have of lying? What would they gain?
Maybe they weren't too fond of Oswald and took advantage at the time when he was most vulnerable.
What is this, high school? We just don't get back at people. Did you know that the Warren Commission sent 3 FBI rifle experts to try to make the same 3 shots that Oswald supposedly made? Same location, same angle, same everything, and not one of them was able to make the shot. Can you explain that to me?
I actually have never heard of the FBI agents being sent out to do such a thing.
Of course you haven't.
One major point is the single bullet theory. Dr. Rodriguez, why don't you enlighten us?
The single bullet theory is just the Warren Commission's attempt at pretending that they had a case against Oswald and blatantly lying to the American public. Now, for this theory to have been true, the bullet must have traveled through 15 layers of clothing, 7 layers of skin, approximately 15 inches of skin tissue, hit Kennedy's necktie, removed 4 inches of Connolly's rib, and shattered Connolly's radius bone. That's some bullet, don't you think?
The bullet exited Kennedy's throat and entered Connolly. That simple. I don't see the point in just going around in circles. All you have are fragments of stories that you're forced to believe are versions of the truth. This is all that's going to happen tonight. Then I will be on my way, because a woman of my stature cannot afford to waste time with a foolish conspiracy theorist when there is a country waiting.
Okay. The first flaw in your conspiracy, that it took 12 hours after the shooting for them to interrogate Oswald. And the odd thing is that none of it was recorded, and the officials knew that it would be inadmissible in court if they did something like that.
Honestly, more than likely, they fled the scene because they were frightened by the gunshot. Every president makes enemies based on his decisions. Every president is at risk of being killed. Unfortunately, Kennedy was unlucky and assassinated, but it doesn't mean that the government was involved.
Kennedy was involved in the civil rights movement, which made notorious racists want to kill him. By declaring his war against the mafia, it made the mob figures want to take him out. Not to mention how much the Cuban exiles hated him. Oh, also the CIA and the Pentagon hardliners after the budget cuts and Kennedy's decision to not go to war, well, they weren't too fond of him either.
What? Look, war is very good for the economy. Kennedy didn't want to make that move. He wasn't looking at the bigger picture, but we did not
one more thing to ask you.
And what might that be?
If there truly wasn't a conspiracy against Kennedy, then why weren't the roofs studied? The building should have been checked. All the windows overlooking Dealey Plaza should have been locked. There should have been 100 to 200 agents on the sidewalk protecting the crowd, protecting Kennedy. There should have been snipers all around. There should have been an army presence that day, and none of it was done. It was a direct violation of all the protection codes that this country lives by, and it's an exact indication of a massive conspiracy against Kennedy.
Well, that's all the time we have. Was there a conspiracy? Why was Kennedy killed? Who benefited from it? Who had the power to cover it up? Truth is, we'll never know.